anyways, Universidad Carolina, their first match on the A-Stream, going up against a CRL staple in MSNT. It's time to kick off CRL. Let's get into it.
And we begin our evening with a good old Western showdown between Missouri and Mexico. First time to seeing Carolina, our second ever team from Mexico, play in the CRL League. And we'll see if Herc, how far Mexico's gonna get. She's not backing them today, but we'll see if they feel the burn against Missouri.
Yeah, that's right. A really interesting storyline between both teams here. Obviously, you mentioned it, Des mentioned it, second team from Mexico here. But also, Mexico instantly came onto the scene the second they were able to qualify for CRL, and now that we get to see a second team qualify for CRL, and I think there's some other teams trying to qualify as well. It's huge growth for the Mexican scene here in the North American CRL section. I think that's massive. On the other side of things, for Missouri S&T, this is, Bates was saying, this is a team that's been around for a long time, and they've had a few iterations of their roster. They come out with this one, and right now they're going to find themselves behind Carolina.
Okay, Carolina coming in swinging. You love to see that. And against a tough opponent like Missouri, to make that kind of statement, to set the tone like that. Beautiful pass off the backboard too. And Missouri, if you guys remember, top 8 in the Western Conference in the spring that last season, made the national championship. So this is a tough boss to face your first week.
It's been, for Missouri S&T, they've had up and down seasons throughout their CRL careers. They've had tight seasons where the record didn't show maybe how good they really were. They were going to Game 5 with a lot of the top teams. That was a few seasons ago. I think Missouri S&T are just trying to find stability. I said this last year as well. It's a school that I feel like has a couple of high-quality players that can make some noise here in CRL, but could never put together a full season. And they didn't have that clutch factor. The Missouri S&T, they get to start with that fresh slate here. They're 0-0. This is their first game in CRL, and it would be a big one to start out with the win column.
Well, Carolina have been already good at applying the pressure, catching the 50s off the ceiling. Paco starts that drive and has kept Missouri on this blue half. And look, Paco comes in swinging, and they've held now a lot of space, and Pancho can't connect with that pass quite yet. So Missouri can, try to counterattack, but they can't follow up with that long clear yet.
And it's been a rude awakening for Carolina here coming into CRL. They got bounced around in the CCA Summer Series. They struggled through qualifiers there. They didn't really win any series. And so far in CRL, they're 0-2 right now. They played Colorado State. They lost 1-3 and then were swept by Boise State. So a win here against Missouri S&T would really start to right the ship after a very rocky start here in CRL.
Yeah, Missouri haven't really produced anything on offense. Been one shot recorded by Missouri versus the 4 of Carolina. And I think when you have that 1-goal lead, yeah, you can play things a little chill. You definitely want that insurance so you don't have that tie in overtime lingering above you. Now Ness fighting to bump in, smacks wanted that pass. Pancho waits in the net. This goes back to Bernie. But it was a tough shot that kind of jumped too late. Couldn't kind of rebound that into the net. Now you see the friends of Carolina starting another offense without Paco, though, and no boost. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, no boost there for Ness, but he certainly, I think, is a big guy to watch for on this Carolina side. He was a huge part in that Bay State college squad a couple seasons ago where they came first and second. And for Ness, he was a huge part of that. A lot of composure behind the balls. This one rings just wide of the net. Now he's trying to bring that here. He just got picked up for CRL for this Carolina squad, and he's trying to make an impact.
See what kind of impact he could do against Bernie. It's off the back wall. And his teammates are so far away. Missouri just put a lot of eggs in that one basket. You see the counterattack from the friends of Carolina is going quite well. They're depositing this in front of the net, but Missouri are quick to catch it, quick to send it away. It's Bernie now fighting into the corner. Ness just steals that, goes up high, has boost to work with, reset available, gets past one. It's been a back and forth affair as both teams kind of are feeling each other through the game one to see what styles they have.
Yeah, and you're trying to, I think for Carolina, very quick to move up the field. A lot of kind of dunk and go, boom ball down the field. You see him go off the ceiling quite a bit. I think Missouri S&T are trying to play a little bit more of a controlled pace a controlled style rather, and control the pace of play. You see another ball just thrown downfield. That was off the post. There's been a couple long clears that have come off the post or just wide here in this game for both sides. And here's Ness, no boost, tries to go under, gets the fake, and he can't push it through. A 1-goal lead for Carolina as they're trying to add to it in the final 30 seconds.
Just feels like there's more unison within Carolina and the threat levels. I'm more worried about Carolina and what they're able to produce. Missouri, they can put themselves in good situations, but only a singular member can. Now Bernie looking for bumps and just present to receive a pass, which hasn't gone his way quite yet. Missouri registering a few more shots in that second half, but the last couple of seconds to look for that tie. You're in the orange half. This is about to go down into the box. And you see Carolina are not letting that happen. Game 1 goes to Carolina.
And that's a great start here in this series. This is a team that has struggled to win these games so far in CRL. They've only won one. Now they doubled up, and they win their second. And that is a fantastic start for this Carolina squad. On the other side of things for Missouri S&T, I mean, listen, they had a lot of opportunity here. 7 shots, 3 for bump and 4 for smacks. They had the opportunity here. They just couldn't put it away. You can credit those 4 saves on Carolina to turn away this Missouri S&T squad.
Paco has been usually that very dependable defensive person, is registering the most amount of saves, just has to be a bit careful with those long Missouri clears that you pointed out that could have rolled into the net. That post was just a little bit more out of the way. But Missouri, it took time to get that ball rolling, metaphorically, physically. I'm expecting to see a whole different Missouri in game 2, and because they have the experience, they shouldn't be nervous. They've been here so many times before. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, you could see it on the screen there on the players, all of them CRL Fall 2022 Elite. I mean, you don't just get that for just showing up, right? They've done something here in CRL before. They know what it's like to be put through the grinder, and I think the pace of play is going to continually speed up here as Carolina continues to get more and more acclimated to their squad and to this Missouri S&T squad. You saw a little bit of it come out in that first game where the pace of play really went over the heads of Missouri S&T, but I think they kind of got a little lucky there that Carolina just lost the ball a lot of times or just gave them the ball back. So I think it really is on Missouri S&T. If they're going to get into this series, they have to slow down the pace of play and get into their style. Speaking of just how comfortable can Missouri get and how quickly, you think about the stats of Bumpin, of Bernie, who registered 2 or 3 shots on average per game, and you didn't see that in that first couple of minutes. But then you go up against Ness and Poncho, who are connecting, at least attempting to, and you haven't seen those kind of chances yet from Missouri. But already the pace of play has picked up. Bumpin's on the ball. It goes towards the net. 2 have to dive at it for Carolina just to send this away. And now Bernie's starting to create this blockade in the midfield to not let this transition be easy.
And I talked about how Ness, his patience has paid off for the teams that he's been on. You've seen a couple times now, he's very willing to throw the fake and go under on a lot of the challenges, a lot of the 50s that he takes into the offensive zone. And it's paid out quite a bit. Missouri S&T are very eager to take those challenges, and when you stay grounded, you're able to win them a lot more. We've seen that a couple times, is again, having to take a tough challenge there in front of his own box, in front of his own net. He's able to turn away that Missouri S&T offense.
And look at what we said. This is a whole different Missouri S&T. Yes, there's no goals, but they're patrolling. They're waiting for these mistakes. You have the defensive members of Carolina stuck in their own net without being successful at clearing. You have these ground pitches from Carolina that almost got scored on by Missouri. The midfield is completely for Bumpin and friends, who have just not let this cross gone through. And as soon as one member commits for Carolina to make that space, that's when someone like Missouri S&T can go and strike during that gap that's created.
And some of the best stuff here for Missouri S&T is if they can't score, they're keeping the ball. They're keeping the ball in possession in the final third or in their offensive half, and it has been a disaster for Carolina to get control of this game. They're finally able to break the halfway point there, but midfield has been so tough for them to move forward. And I feel like right now, Missouri S&T, I talked about the pace of play going in favor of Carolina, but Missouri S&T, they picked up the pace, but maybe not fast enough, as Paco is able to put away his first.
Well, in the last play, Missouri went for this demo and completely stifled Carolina, but Missouri never went for boost, and I think maybe they got mixed up on, okay, well, who can go for corner boost, who can kind of get topped up, and everyone was running on fumes, and then Carolina had the ball and scored on them. So Missouri have to find that balance between that aggression, between rotations and resources, or else Carolina can play that defensive game. They can play patient, and they will find the goals.
And Carolina again jumping in front. Here comes Ness. Maybe a second touch off the back wall. Carolina trying to get that offense going. Look, they weathered the storm. They were able to turn away Missouri S&T. Missouri S&T have 5 shots. Carolina has 1. And Carolina's 1 for 1. And in the lead, so that's all you need. Defense, you got to give them a little bit of credit here in Carolina. The defense has held strong, and now the offense trying to ramp up there. They get 2 to go. Ness knows that he can't get around it, and he has to set back up through the corner.
Poncho's locking some members up in front of the net, and he stays on the left, and maybe could have shoved it on pass on the other side, but missed a touch on the ball. Paco tries to keep the play going, and Bernie's going to try and contest it as much as he can. Paco went for the bump onto Bumpin, but he's the one who recovers the ball at the end. And the play continues there for Carolina, but running low on boost there as Ness has to drop this off to, well, Paco, who's turned into a ghost, up to Poncho to keep the blows coming. And you see that Missouri have weathered that storm.
They've done well, but they're still down by 1. They've got to find a way to get back in control. Poncho and Ness both going for the same ball, bumping. Well, nothing's going to happen there. Missouri S&T get 2 demos, though, so some space in the midfield, and Smacks just throws it downfield. Missouri S&T not holding onto the ball, and it's landing right back into the lap of Carolina.
These demos from Missouri have been fantastic at just sending back an offense and resetting things back to neutral. Back in the favor of Missouri. We are tied 1-1.
And that's what Missouri S&T were kind of looking for, even with some of these balls being given back over for free to Carolina. Missouri S&T finally break that last line, that last defender of Carolina on a bad touch, and they're able to take advantage and find the equalizer.
I can see just after the wave of demos that Carolina experienced, just trying to find herself, where is the plane communicating in that panic moment. So caught them off guard, bumping right in front of a bunch of defenders, but Smacks is the one with the quick recovery, goes off to the ceiling. Bernie almost wants to tuck it in right midair, bump into Bernie too. You're seeing that pressure from Missouri that could be delivering them a winning goal in the next 53 seconds if they can keep it up.
And Missouri S&T finding more and more control here after their goal. Sure, Carolina's able to get out downfield, but they instantly have been giving it back up, and now bumping, trying to push forward. Smacks going for a demo on Paco. He doesn't connect, but he loops back around. Here comes Missouri S&T cranking up that pressure again.
But it's Missouri running low on boost. Now they just are all full. But they gave up so much space in exchange, and this is where Carolina can look for that lead now that they have all the real estate in the world. Good bounce off the corner, but Ness had too much power, not the right angle. Right off the right post, Ness keeps the play going, but now Smacks, while missing a teammate, Missouri panic to look for the lead, or we're going into overtime.
Oh, careful,
Poncho in front of the net.
careful.
That's not good for them, but it is for Missouri. At the 0-second mark, they take the lead.
Oh, Poncho just had to put this one towards the corner. Even a square ball back out towards the middle of the field could have been fine, but you can't put it up in the middle in front of the net like that. And Missouri S&T on the pre-flip from Bumpin is able to put it away, and boy, did he earn that goal. He had 7 shots in that game alone, and he's finally able to break through, and he gets a 0-second goal from Missouri S&T.
Although mistakes happened defensively for Carolina, they still had one that lasted a while. 7 saves coming out of Carolina when they were trapped, and they are able to execute on these counterattacks. We saw it in the very first play. 1 shot, 1 goal, and Carolina were on the board. But once Missouri, they get those demos, they make their way down to the orange half, Carolina can panic. They can sometimes get lost in the heat of the moment, and that's where Missouri can either find open nets or force these bad touches out of Carolina.
That's a disappointing way to end the game if you're Carolina, especially after weathering the storm that we mentioned so much in the beginning of that game. Missouri S&T were all over Carolina. And even on that 1-for-1 shot that they put away when they were outshot, but they were in the lead. Boy, what a way to give that one up in game 2. Luckily, it's still a tie series here. And Carolina will have to step up to bat once again. They got to get their offense going here, Lemon. I feel like Missouri S&T have been able to lock them down a little bit more. You've seen that offense really get into flow state on the Carolina side for Missouri S&T, and it has been a disaster defensively for Carolina, especially with the boost control. It's been all Missouri S&T so far.
Yeah, and on times that Missouri fell because of those lack of resource, because of that lack of boost, they were quick to improve on that, came with a counterattack that completely just shoveled Carolina into the dirt. So Carolina were good at taking advantage of a slow Missouri, but now that they're ramping up, you got to see Carolina be able to keep up with that.
We'll see if they can. They've done a good job here so far of not immediately being thrown into a hole. They've been able to, trade blows downfield at least, hit the back wall, push this one back. Here comes Ness. Let's try to get that one through Bernie, but a good challenge will prevent it. And Carolina looking to ramp up their offense. This one comes across the box for free, and Poncho just couldn't get to it in time. Here comes Paco. Shot on target will drop through, and he'll drop it in for Carolina.
It's like, I'll make up for it, I promise. Paco's like, nope. It's all me. I'll set myself up for success. Off the ceiling like that, Carolina came to play.
And that is one way to start things off. If you're Carolina, it was a very rough start in Game 2. We talked about it, but here in Game 3, fantastic so far. Missouri S&T really haven't had a ton of offense. They have 3 shots, but none of them have been memorable. As Paco again will go to the sky. This time he's denied, and Poncho's taken out of the play, so Ness has to back off here. Here comes Bernie, dangerous in this position. He's going to find the back wall, needs help, one more touch. Shot is just wide as Ness was getting wrestled in front of the net, and he's lucky that shot was not on target.
And Paco was right next to that shooter too, like could have gone, even if you can't get to the ball, be disruptive, be in the way, cause some stress. Or like you said, accuracy is what helped Carolina in the end when Missouri misses that. But the play keeps going, bump into Bernie, just inches away from connecting on those passes. But now Paco helps Carolina break through to that blue half. Good flick above the one. But now there's many defenders that you have to deal with from Missouri. Poncho with the challenge gives it right back over to Missouri, who forced their way out.
Oh, that's a big clear. This one was dangerous. Almost able to find the back of the net. Poncho trying to find a way out. It goes over to Paco. Here comes Poncho over to Ness. Ness shot on target will be perfect. Look at the passing play coming out from Carolina.
This offense is lethal, and it doesn't even need time to ramp up. Now the passes are coming through right to Ness to the upper 90. That was going to be difficult to save, and off the first goal that was off the ceiling, Carolina's mechanics on display.
What a start here in this game. We're just over 2 minutes in. Missouri S&T trying to find their footing in a series where they have been able to a couple times in a few minute-long stints put really rough pressure on this Carolina squad. That's a save off the corner here, and now Bernie trying to capitalize. This one coming out to Smacks as the clear is good enough. Now Paco 1v1 trying to get up over Bumpin'. It's not going to happen.
That was a dangerous move. Missouri committing members to go for these demos. They've been such a physical team. But you can't forget about the ball.
Oh my goodness.
3-0 for Carolina.
What an angle from Poncho. Off the wall, nobody's home. Back post 2. It's 3-0 Carolina.
I didn't even know you could hit it from there, and off a pass that was kind of accidental through a bump. Like, the cards are all lining up, but Missouri were almost quick to strike back. Good blocking. Carolina want more than the 3. They want to get in the heads of Missouri. Paco with a shot. Bernie has to save. Corner control not there for Missouri as Poncho steals the ball yet again. Ness sees the ball drop there from Bernie. And if you can deny that possession from
he's up.
Missouri, Carolina can keep the streak going, but Smacks defends the backboard well and gives Missouri a chance for free out.
Yeah, decent defense there from Smacks. Really needed to get up after Ness there. He was going for the flip reset double tap there. And Missouri S&T, they have had to field the worst of the offense from Carolina. Here's a shot on target. Paco's already up. And now Bernie, can he put it on target? He does, and he'll put it home. Just under a minute and a half left, and Missouri S&T finally break through.
Yeah, Ness was just flipping, and then once he readjusted, couldn't get his nose on the ball, but it was Missouri. You gotta congratulate them on finding the rebound, and Carolina had good reads off the initial shot, but having to find the space, and like we said, in these crucial moments, sometimes things can slip up for Carolina, but they had such a strong start. We'll see if that buffer won't be enough, and how about this one? 4-1 Carolina.
And I'm confused what happened to the Missouri S&T defense. Bernie popped this up. Smacks didn't have enough boost to get back. In fact, all of them have no boost. Smacks was just picking up pads, and caught out is Missouri S&T. And Carolina, boy, they have taken Missouri S&T to the cleaners here, as they have not shown much offense here. Despite, again, every time I say that, I check the shots, and it's 7 shots for Missouri S&T, which is fine. But when you only got 1 goal to show for it, there's something wrong with the offense here.
I think execution is something we can highlight for Carolina. Like, okay, yes, that first goal off of a missed pass, but the quicker recovery, then that second shot coming in from the ceiling, to then the passes are starting to improve. The improvements are coming in so quickly from Carolina, but Missouri stay in their shadow. They are down 2 goals, 48 seconds. Is it doable? I don't know.
Oh, it's certainly doable, but it's not probable. Okay, let's put it that way.
Yeah, very true.
You've got enough time to do it, but it's very improbable here from Missouri S&T. Bernie trying to will his team into this game. 47 seconds left. This is a great start off the kickoff. Poncho got to make a save. He does. Smacks tries to keep it in, but it's Ness off to the races, high above the defense. Flip reset towards the goal, but Bumpin is able to make the save.
You know, it's been back-to-back kickoffs where Missouri just try to slip one by, but the counterattacks of Carolina have been something to watch out for in those moments. 4-2, some time being killed here. The possession of Carolina, shot still coming in. Great saves from Missouri to keep this only a 2-goal lead for Carolina with 14 seconds left. But after that clear, Missouri don't have possession. At least they'll fight Ness for it. Paco has his back. Smacks now is running out of time. Can at least make this game 3 look close. But it will be Carolina.
Oh, another one.
Carolina going to match point.
They will be able to pull this game out, I should say. Missouri S&T does get one for the road. Good there from Bumpin again on a pre-flip shot. He's done that 2 games in a row, but this time not a game winner. It's a game loser. We'll put that one down as a game loser for Bumpin, as Carolina comes out on top. Now, of course, Missouri S&T, you can deduce, is from the great state of Missouri here in the United States. However, Carolina, Lemon, do you know where they're from?
Why don't you tell me?
Mexico.
Well, I mean, I knew that
Mexico,
part.
Coahuila, Mexico.
Okay,
That's
part
where
I
they're
didn't
from.
know. Also, first time in CRL, and they could be taking a win against, well, a long-standing team of Missouri, even one that has gone to playoffs. So we love to see new talent. Well, I would say new talent. Of course, these players are known beyond this, but for a new school to make an appearance is great.
Yeah, we mentioned it at the beginning, but I think it's important to mention again, Mexico was added very recently to CRL within the last year, and already producing teams that are making it to CRL, and obviously very competitive here in CRL as well. So huge shout out to the Mexican scene in Rocket League just in general, but obviously here in CRL, the collegiate teams. Really fun to see them have instant success. You know, we've seen new regions come in and be added to RLCS, and some have not had the greatest of success, but I feel like a lot of these Mexican teams, you know, they're able to play against North American players, they're able to have their own communities and grow there, and even in their own colleges, and they come out swinging here in CRL so far. So it's been fun. I mean, we've talked about Carolina. They've started 0-2 here, but they're looking to put their first win in the win column against Missouri S&T.
That's an important note, too. The number of matches played. This is the first week of league play. There are some offline matches, obviously. If you weren't new to CRL, that's how that works. 0-2 for Carolina. But this is the first match for Missouri S&T. So this could just be a question of nerves. This isn't scrims. This isn't just any other third-party tournament. This is the real deal. And maybe not expecting kind of the style that we've seen out of Carolina, this defensive style, which Missouri has been able to crack that egg eventually. But to ramp up to that point, still needs work out of Missouri.
Yeah, they really have to pick up their defense. You can't let the solo plays come out from Carolina, as we've seen, especially from Ness. Now here's the pass over to Poncho. This is what we're talking about. That's a great save, but they got to get back to it. Poncho, can he put a shot on target? No, it's a fight, a scrum on the goal line, and somehow Missouri S&T stay alive, but the bump comes through. Paco misses. It's chaos on the Missouri S&T side. A shot goes wide as well. What on earth am I witnessing here from Carolina? They can't put it away, and that Missouri S&T defense holds strong.
Oh, the pass is on the floor, and Ness is still trying to recover. Speaking of recover, that's why Poncho couldn't tuck it in. He was still trying to get off the wall, and once he readjusted, 2 defenders got in the way just to shove that ball out in time. I can't believe that didn't work. And here's Missouri trying to see if they could take advantage of this fumbled moment there out of Carolina, who have seemed to stabilize on the field, but Smack's the one with the ball, and he flicks it above one, and Paco, again, defensively has been that wall for Carolina.
Yeah, he's really had to come through, win the shots have from Missouri S&T, but boy, Missouri S&T, they have 2 saves to their name right now, but they might as well double that, as the shots were just wide from Carolina, and they made some big saves, Missouri S&T did, on their goal line to keep this a blank slate for now. Now they're trying to find their offense, but it'll be Poncho and Ness to combine to get Carolina out.
All right, Ness to the back wall. No one there to follow up. That second offensive member was kind of guiding that play and got stuck in the corner. Missouri always had Bernie, who's kind of that spark plug, who's able to just wrestle the play in his team's favor. When it seems like Carolina have control, it's Bernie or Smacks in the midfield to shake things up, but the longer they stay there, the lower on boost they get, and that's been a problem for Missouri of balancing those 2 objectives. And Ness, the uncontested there in the corner, but Bumpin hugs the wall and sails right through the left side, and is about to get the second touch in, but couldn't recover in time. Accuracy an issue, but Bernie cleans it up.
Oh my, and this one came right back in front of the net. I don't know how Bumpin got through the defense, but it pinches right out to Bernie, and Paco can't get back in time. Of course, the pace too fast on the shot, and finally Missouri S&T are able to break through. They had 6 shots here, and again, they've been out shooting Carolina in most of these games. It's just that Carolina, they have executed and converted a lot of the opportunities that they've had. So far fruitless here in game 4, as another one comes off the crossbar. Bumpin his shot just a bit high, and Carolina lucky to not be down by 2. Ness, this one a bit high again, and no one able to convert right now.
Is Bumpin okay? Is he good? Is he having a prayer in the net? Okay. He is not having a prayer.
Something's happening.
For his internet, though.
Yeah. He's looking for some divine intervention right there in the net. But yeah.
Maybe that's how I feel about Bernie too. That last play where that goal got scored by Missouri. So Bernie steals the ball from the blue half and just sails for free, like no one's looking at him, and sets up the play. Like, Carolina gotta watch out for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it was unfortunate that the pinch came right back towards Bernie there, but yeah, I don't even know how Missouri S&T were able to break into the box there. But by the way, it was Bumpin. I don't know. He must have pulled his controller out or his controller disconnected. So he plugged it back in. We're good to go. We got it back in.
Found his dongle.
So we will start from kickoff with 1 minute and 56 seconds left on the clock. And I believe we're just going to jump right back in. Why not?
And it's still match point for Carolina, and Missouri looking for the insurance goal too. They will have this lead. They want that game 5. After a slow start that Carolina took advantage of, this off the left post, and Smacks, good touch to the corner, because look at the offensive members of Carolina crashing into them. And now crashing and burning, back to spawn. Poncho is gone, and here is the Missouri counterattack. Bumpin can't be stopped.
Boy, is he glad he plugged in his controller again. Full boost pickup here in the midfield. He had Poncho and Ness to beat, and with the flip into the ball there, I was going to say flip reset, but just the flip into the ball, he'll put it home. And what a way to start off that kickoff after having a controller DC.
And the kickoff for Missouri forced Paco's forced to make that save, and Missouri haven't gotten away with any kickoff goals yet. Carolina staying on their toes. Ness bumped off the ball. Poncho helping him go through, and the lane seems clear, but Missouri close it up. Now, how do they get out of the situation? It's 1:10 in Missouri. They can't choke this now, not against Carolina, who've had to make so many saves. But where is the offense of Carolina? When is the offense of Carolina? They only have 3 shots against the 10 of Missouri.
Yeah, it's been how it's been going here in this series. Paco wants a bump on bumping. It's not going to happen with that namesake, as this one comes right back out to Bernie. And you're asking for the offense. Paco and Ness might deliver, but again, bumping cuts it out. Poncho in a tough spot here, going backwards, and almost 30 seconds left on the clock here. It's time for Carolina to go if they want to close out this series here in this game.
Carolina have had to make some difficult saves, and the counterattack's been stopped. Missouri have the time to rotate back, and Bernie has all the space, and maybe an open net, and it's pinched off the cross. Miracle save from Paco, and the rebound stopped as well. But now you're just gonna let Smacks have this ball? No, Paco won't let it happen. Poncho by his side. Couple more seconds, and Carolina haven't been able to score in this game 4, making Missouri able to force the game 5. And we have a banger for our first day at CRL.
And we've talked about this throughout this series. When Missouri S&T can play their controlled system, good things happen. 14 shots from Missouri S&T. They've been out shooting Carolina the entirety of the series, but this really can put the cherry on top if they're able to close this one out. These types of stats that you're seeing from them with the shooting especially, that's what we expect from Missouri S&T. That's how they're going to win games. It's just quantity over the opposition, and we've seen that so far, but they've got to do it again. We've seen Carolina kind of be up and down, right? Some games they're hot, some games they're cold. Definitely a cold game here from Carolina when it comes to the offense, but for Missouri S&T, you've got to stick with what you had here in Game 4 going into our final game.
And we've seen evidence of Carolina's mechanics when they are just given that one shot, that one opportunity. They know how to execute. Usually. But hey, I mean, you and I have actually casted those defensive type of teams, like that World Championship of CRL. Yeah. That European team that just stayed permanently on defense. Yeah, that's possible. That's a possible play style for Carolina to depend on, to put those double-digit saves, but those counterattacks have to pop off. They have to be quick, and they have to catch Missouri off guard. In those moments that Missouri lack boost, or maybe lack that balance that we've seen at some occasions, that can be where Carolina strikes, but you need to communicate that, and you need to be ready.
And it was so many times we've talked about how a strong system in CRL can take you a lot farther than maybe necessarily the best players in the league. Missouri S&T certainly chasing that here in this series. For Carolina, it hasn't been bad. It's just, they lost the previous game. Missouri S&T looked a lot better. There's been some great opportunities, though, for Carolina in their offense, and they certainly have been more creative and more deadly as Ness. Well, there you go. Case in point, as right off the rip, that one comes clean off the back wall. You know Ness is going to clean this one up.
Oh, he's been practicing that one in free play, and Bernie tried to jump, but not towards the net, and that's an easy shot for Carolina to take when given that opportunity. This is game 5 with Carolina in the driver's seat.
And a good start for Carolina, especially after a very, very rough previous game. Ness isn't going to get a second touch there. Again, very dangerous from Carolina. This is what we're talking about. Very quick offense to set up a very scary situation for a Missouri S&T defense. But they're able to get out. Bernie trying to force it through. This one, pass 2. Ness is trying to take a challenge. He will, but it goes right back out to Bernie.
Ooh, this almost went back out to Smacks, but Paco has never let this net be open for free. Now Poncho actually gets a good challenge. This goes to Ness, and layer by layer, Carolina are peeling back Missouri, but on the left side, Paco waits for his moment to get this ball away from Bumpin'. This goes back to Ness, who doesn't have great possession, but I like the way that Carolina back each other up in these plays when things are looking shaky. They're there by each other's side.
Yeah, good communication there, too. Calling Ness, not getting the touch off the sidewall, and calling up his teammates, says, hey, take it. Communication certainly there as this one comes off of Poncho. Carolina happy to play around in the offensive half. Just keep Missouri S&T using that boost to break out. Here comes Paco again, a touch to the back wall. This is a good setup. Looking for more as ended up not being that threatening from Carolina.
Not a lot of boost and not the right position, but hey, kind of that sidewall has been successful for Carolina. You know, the one shot and the 100% chance to score there. Worked out for Ness the first time. See if that's something they can keep using, because that back wall was something Missouri were able to defend well in previous games, and that's off the corner. Paco gets a touch right to Bumpin. That's a long clear. Missouri chased that away, but as Carolina come racing back, they're getting demoed, but they all respawn on each other in front of the net. Not a lot of boost to work with. Bernie's just going to be patrolling, looking for bumps, and waiting to see if he can slow down the push of Carolina.
Ness got bumped twice in his own corner there trying to defend the ball. Still came out with possession. Unfortunately, used all of his boost to get to this ball, and he might lose out on the mid-boost. He got it, but he's getting bullied off the ball. Bernie gets a demo. It's just Paco back. He pulls off the challenge as this one dangerously hits the ceiling as Ness so quick will deny Bernie's touch. The time certainly ticking as this one over Ness, bumping. A second touch, Paco trying to get this one over the defense. Missouri S&T, they all win, and Poncho off to the races here to get back to the Missouri S&T side. The shot goes high on the dunk, and unfortunately the offense from Missouri S&T fizzled out so quickly.
Even that touch from Poncho off the back wall actually helped Missouri almost center that out in front of the net. And I think those defensive mistakes from Carolina have gone away since costing some games to Missouri. But this back wall, this lands in front of the net, and Poncho is there! Carolina 2-0!
Oh, devastating for Missouri S&T. What a dunk, though, from Ness, and a fantastic read from Poncho. That's a tough one. Coming down from the ceiling, the speed of that one is a tough read to get. And some cushion here. Some insurance for Carolina as this shot instantly from Bernie is denied by Paco.
From a Game 4 shutout by Missouri to maybe the same thing happening. Missouri got to get on the board. They got 90 seconds to do so, but Bumpin's got so much coverage on him. But this ball came out from the corner, and that was almost a dangerous shot from Missouri. Smacks, redirects it right in, and gets Missouri on.
And that's some great offense there from Missouri S&T. It's the offense that we wanted throughout this Game 5. We saw it in Game 4, but a great little lob across the box away from the defense as well. You could see no one from the defense able to get up to it, at least in time. And finally, Missouri S&T on 2 shots, only 2 here, are able to break through.
A Game 5, 1 goal differential. How are Missouri gonna start their season, their league playoff? We'll start by stopping Poncho, Bernie, to the corner, but he's not gonna be able to sail for free and get Missouri those quick goals like he has before. Bump in, does he have enough boost? Just barely to make that touch to the corner. Off to Smack, so good control by Missouri. Gotta be careful there in the box, and Ness sneaks it in! And Carolina, 3-1. This is a lead now that seems very difficult for Missouri to get back.
Great rotation there from Ness. He came from the right-hand corner all the way to the left side, picked up boosts, then circled back instantly into the play, into the box, and was rewarded for it as it came right into his breadbasket. And now Bernie off the kickoff is going to get one back. He will! Missouri S&T with the kickoff goal, and they're back within 1.
This is not the first time Missouri have done this. Where is Paco? Paco is usually always in the net, making sure that this very thing doesn't happen. And now we're back within a 1 goal differential. Game 5, 52 seconds. And Missouri have to full send this. You want to have a good start to your season. Not have a loss against some of the newbies, and the tying goal is there!
Who, was it Paco or Poncho here? It was Paco, and he only had 12 boosts, and that's why that save looked a lot harder than it should have been. Uncomfortable situation, and he drops it into his own net, and Missouri S&T have made the comeback. It's not over yet. 40 seconds left, and we're into the next kickoff.
Now you just see how much of an impact Paco has had and what happens when his presence is dearly missed. 2 goals slip away. Missouri is back. And here is now the goal for the shot for the lead, and Bernie is denied. Smacks misses the touch. Bernie sends it forward. Bumpin stays in the midfield as well. Carolina need to gather themselves, but I don't think Missouri's gonna let you go for free.
10 seconds left. Opportunity here for Missouri S&T, or maybe it could be Carolina. Poncho into the corner. Ness, back wall. Paco's ready. Paco didn't go. He thought the defender had the clear, and rightfully so, as he should have. But into overtime we go for a Game 5. What a way to start off the CRL mainstream here, as Missouri S&T and Carolina are going to go the distance for us.
When it was this 2-0 shutout in favor of Carolina, look who comes knocking. Missouri ramping up, but it only takes one mistake to fumble this entire series, and it goes through for Ness.
What?
Carolina take the series.
How did this one go through for Ness? Bumping. He got bumped. He got bumped out of the way. And Ness essentially having the open net in the end. 5 games it took and an overtime to boot. And Carolina, they were 0-2 to start off their CRL journey, but they get their first win here.
And the hat trick for Ness, well earned, the game winner too. What a series coming out of Carolina. I mean, also Missouri. This was back and forth of just one for Carolina. Missouri comes back. Carolina, Missouri to Game 5 overtime when Missouri were clawing their way back. Carolina chomped down for good. Missouri start their league play 0-1.
What a way for Carolina to get back into this one, though. I mean, Missouri S&T, they're, a very system type team. They're a team that likes to put together a lot of passing plays, a lot of hold you down and wait for you to break type gameplay. And Carolina was able to weather that storm here and then show off some of the offense as well. Creativity coming through, especially from Ness. Very impressive. We knew what we had with him. We've seen him before here in CRL on Bay State College, but I think for Carolina here, he has been a massive boon to their offense and just overall been a star here for Carolina and a huge win for them to start off their season.
Carolina got that stream buff too. You start off your season 0-2. You go up against, I think, one of the toughest teams they've had to face. Was it out of Boise, Colorado State, now Missouri? I would say Missouri is definitely one of the tougher ones. And for Carolina to come out with a win means they could start that comeback when it comes to their record, while Missouri will have to reevaluate why things went the distance, why they had that slow start. And yes, they were able to adapt and stay composed at the end, force that Game 5, but I feel like it's uncharacteristic to see Missouri lose to a new team in CRL versus, the competition they faced in the past.
Competition's rising, though, in CRL. I mean, that's the thing, people just keep getting better and better. New teams are coming in. They're just as good as the teams that have been there for a while. So that's what makes it so much fun. That's what makes it awesome. That's why we're all here to watch is you're here to see the new teams. You're here to see the new blood. And you're certainly here to watch a lot of these Mexican teams come in here and do really well. So I'm excited to see what this Carolina team has in store for us. I think this Missouri S&T team will be fine. It's one game. They'll be okay. They start off their season 0-1. It's week 1. We got plenty more.
And plenty more matches around the corner. Up next, we're going to have Bruton Parker College versus Rochester University. But first, we'll hear back from the desk, and we'll see you after the break.